Well, it's 6:15 in the morning. It's 6 degrees. We're in Busselton and we're heading off for 5 weeks. This trip today is going to be to Kalgoorlie. It's about 800 and something kilometres from here, and it's probably going to take us between 8 to 10 hours. We're not going to go through Perth, which would be the quickest way from Busselton, believe it or not. We're going to go the inland route, and that's because we don't like going through Perth. Anyway, let's get on the road. Highway, and this is one of the steepest hills around here, so everything's working pretty hard. I think we got down to 60 kilometres an hour for a little bit there. Thankfully there's 2 lanes so people can get around us, but once we get over here it should be pretty plain sailing until we get to Kalgoorlie. Well, we've been on the road for a couple of hours now and we've just arrived at Williams, just stopping for a quick stretch of the legs. To 6 now. We got up at 5 o'clock this morning. It only took us about 15 minutes to pack up, but we decided we'd be sneaky and go to Macca's and get some breakfast before we leave civilization for the next week or so. It's about 5 degrees, so it's actually colder here than it was in Busselton when we left. We're going to head out to Menzies and have a look at Lake Ballard. Well, we've been through Menzies and it's about 50 kilometres now out to the observation point for Lake Ballard, and this road that we're driving on is probably the best road that we've been on, including the ones in the city of Busselton. This is magnificent. So if you've got a caravan and you want to come out here, it's not a problem so far. I think you'll have no dramas at all. It's actually so cold out there though this morning that even though we've done 150 kilometres since Kalgoorlie, engine temperature is still 65 degrees, which is crazy. Doing 105 k's an hour, nearly 4 tonne, and we can't even get the engine warm in the TD42. So all of you guys out there want to joke about the TD42 being a kettle, you just need to drive out of Menzies at 7 o'clock in the morning. We've got to Lake Ballard, and even though the road turned from bitumen to gravel, it was still a really beautiful road, no corrugations, smooth as silk, so no problem getting here. This is really quite a spectacular spot. You can camp here, and I'm regretting the fact that we didn't right now. We'll have a walk around and show you. It's absolutely spectacular here. So there's plenty of campsites all set up along here next to the lake, where you've actually got quite a good view. You've got little fire rings, picnic tables, if that's your sort of thing. There's even a couple of bins, mind you, they're overflowing at the moment, so it's obviously a busy time of year. People have been trying to do the right things, but really if the bin's full you need to take your stuff with you, not leave it lying on the ground next to it. There's a long drop toilet here and quite a few campsites quite spread apart too. There's a few people who camped here last night. Unfortunately that wasn't us. we've just pulled up to the Gwalia town site. It's a ghost town just near Leonora, and have a go at this place. This is pretty awesome. You can see back behind me there, there's some old pub there, and as we come in here, there's the traditional dunny, but have a look at all of this stuff here. What's really cool about this place is you can seem to just be able to go in anywhere, and I reckon the best bit is that people haven't been knocking stuff off. It's just left as it should be, which is really quite surprising and, to be honest, a nice change. I expected this door to be locked, but you can just help yourself, have a wander through. It's got a sign up there saying please close all the external doors when leaving, but everything's been put in place as if it was just left here. Very, very cool. Complete with the Hessian walls and all. Look at these tin walls in here, internal walls. I was just standing here taking some video, and this old boy rocked up in an old Land Cruiser, part of the Briggs family. Apparently he's, other than 10 years, lived out in this town site all of his life. So he was saying that some of these buildings were actually moved here and some of them are original buildings. So this one that I'm standing here in front of with the bike, this one here is one of the original buildings. And while Beck was over using the public toilets over there, she found a little app that was advertised on the doors of the toilets where you can actually look up the history of each building. So she's madly going around at the moment reading up on all of the buildings, and yeah, it's actually a pretty cool little place. We'll go and have a bit more of a look around. Well, that woke me up. Just had a little bit of a fall. I just come through this door over here behind me, and then took a couple of steps and the floorboards gave way underneath me, and I went straight over. Camera, microphone, everything smashed all over the place. Thankfully doesn't seem to be any damage to anything. I've put it all back together, and yeah, well, there you go. Sorry to the old boys for damaging their nice restoration. You can see that there's a little bit of a patch on the floor next to it, so I'd say that was probably always going to happen. Good old Beck. Here I was just explaining to her how I fell through the floor and ended up on my ass, and she's sitting there giggling and laughing at me like I'm an idiot. Well, fair enough, I am a bit of an idiot, but that still hurt. in Laverton to get some diesel. This is the last cheapish diesel we're going to see until we get to Alice Springs. I think it's costing us about $1.70, $1.80 a litre, something like that. You start not to look after a while, it's too scary. But it's only going to get worse from here. Filled up, we've done about 460 k's today so far. It's a little bit slower going than what we'd hoped just because of a few detours that we've done. We've got about 200 kilometres to go until our campsite, so we're just going to put the figures into the fuel tracker app and hit the road again.